During the long years of the Cold War between the US and Russia, the pressure was felt in the space race. Russia was the first country to send a person into space, but the USA won the race to the moon. Neil Armstrong, Michael Collins, and Buzz Aldrin, who were part of the Apollo 11 mission, were able to land on the moon's surface at 8:18 p.m. on July 20, 1969. As part of the Apollo project, NASA sent Apollo 12 to the moon in December 1969, Apollo 14 in January 1971, Apollo 15 in July 1971, Apollo 16 in April 1972, and Apollo 17 in December 1972. All of these trips cost money, of course. But NASA has done more than just send people into space. So, today we are going to discuss about the top 10 most expensive NASA programs. But before we start our countdown, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon as well. 10. New Horizons, $720 million. The spacecraft known as New Horizons has been credited with one of the most astounding achievements that have been achieved in the history of NASA in recent years. After being sent into space in 2006, it finally passed the dwarven planet Pluto in 2015, after having been in motion for more than 9 years. On January 1, 2019, it made a close pass over the Kuiper Belt, which is where the photograph of object Ultima Thule was taken. Thus was the first time anything had been photographed this far into space, and it was a historic moment. An absolutely incredible mission that has, up to this point, set NASA back somewhere around $720 million. The fact that the probe will not arrive at its destination until at least the middle to late 2030s will result in an increase in the cost associated with its transportation. 9. Gaia, $1 billion. The European Space Agency, ESA, is in charge of running the unique observatory known as Gaia, ESA. The spacecraft had its first launch in 2013, and the estimated last day of operations is set for 2022. It is anticipated that the spacecraft will have a lifespan of slightly under 10 years. In point of fact, it was initially supposed to be a mission that would last for 5 years, but it ended up getting extended more than once. Gaia was a spacecraft that was developed and launched by Arianespace. Its primary mission was to investigate extrasolar planets, asteroids, and stars. A space directory has been made using the provided data as well as any images that were taken. To present, the mission has incurred costs of approximately $1 billion, however, these costs have the potential to rise significantly, particularly if the duration of the mission is once again prolonged. 8. Curiosity rover on Mars, $2.5 billion. The exploration of Mars is one of the most remarkable achievements that humanity has accomplished in the 21st century. In 2011, NASA launched the Curiosity rover, a probe that is roughly the size of a standard Jeep and is designed to explore the surface of Mars. The primary objective of the mission of the spacecraft was to investigate the climatic conditions and geological composition of the planet. After a period of 1 Martian year, which is roughly similar to 687 days on Earth, the Curiosity rover came to the conclusion that the environment on Mars has in the past been favorable to the existence of microbes. Scientists and astronauts, who have been contemplating the ramifications of establishing a human colony on Mars, received a significant amount of new information as a result of this development. 7. Cassini-Huygens probe, $3.6 billion. In 2004, the Cassini-Huygens spacecraft became the first to safely enter orbit around Saturn. Although this mission was the fourth to Saturn, its significance lies in the fact that it was the first spacecraft to successfully reach orbit around Saturn. The two-part Explorer remained operational for close to 20 years, and the Huygens lander was the first to arrive on Titan, a moon of Saturn. This accomplishment marks the first time humans have successfully landed on a moon other than our own. NASA, the Italian Space Agency, and the European Space Agency each contributed a portion of the astounding cost of the mission, which was believed to be somewhere in the neighborhood of $3.6 billion. The observations and inferences drawn from the mission are still being examined, despite the fact that data is continuously being transmitted back to Earth. 6. Hubble Space Telescope, $10 billion. The Hubble Space Telescope was initially deployed into low Earth orbit in 1990, and it has remained there ever since. Even though it wasn't the very first space telescope ever built, it was the largest one available at the time and is still considered to be among the most recognized examples of its category. The Hubble Space Telescope has been responsible for many important observations that have led to advancements in the fields of astronomy, cosmology, and astrophysics. Due to the fact that it has been circling for close to 30 years, numerous repairs have been required in order to keep it in a functional state. To this point, the program has incurred expenses totaling close to $150 million. 5. James Webb Space Telescope, $10 billion. The James Webb Space Telescope, which is considered to be one of the most cutting-edge telescopes currently in existence, was given its namesake after the second administrator of NASA. It had an original debut date scheduled for the year 2007, however, due to design and budget concerns, it has been delayed several times. The most recent effort to launch was a disastrous practice deployment that occurred in 2018, during which a sunshield tore off. The launch is currently planned to take place on an Ariane 5 rocket in the month of March 2021. The expenses that are related with the operation of this telescope are currently hovering just below the $9 billion mark, but they have a good chance of surpassing the $10 billion mark by the year 2021. 4. GPS, $12 billion. The Global Positioning System, GPS, is a system of satellite-based navigation that enables users to pinpoint their location on practically any part of the planet. It is possible to determine, in real time, the distance between locations by taking into account the mode of transportation and the path that has been selected. Despite the fact that the United States Department of Defense is in charge of the system itself, NASA played a significant influence in the development and implementation of it. The positioning and intelligence of the satellite make it possible for aeroplanes to access the system while they are traveling through low Earth orbit. The Global Positioning System, GPS, can be enabled on aeroplanes as well as aboard some spacecraft. The Global Positioning System, GPS, for the Moon is currently being developed by NASA as part of their ongoing efforts to assist astronauts in their exploration of the lunar surface during future trips. 3. Apollo Space Program, $25.4 billion. The Apollo space program was initiated by NASA in 1961, while John F. Kennedy was President of the United States. The program's only mission was to successfully land a human being on the surface of the Moon. The Apollo 11 spacecraft conducted a successful landing on the Moon in 1969. Astronauts Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong walked on the Moon's surface and carried Moon rocks back to Earth for further study. The Apollo program ran until 1975, when the Apollo-Soyuz mission was selected to be the program's final mission. Given the amount of advancement that was made possible as a result of the program, the overall cost to NASA of around $25.4 billion was an investment that proved to be extremely beneficial. 2. International Space Station, $160 billion. The International Space Station, ISS, is a research facility that orbits the Earth at a height of approximately 240 miles above the surface. The station was officially open for business in the year 1998, and since the year 2000, there have been people living there permanently for research purposes. Experiments in a variety of subjects, including astronomy, physics, biology, and biology, are carried out by scientists from both the United States of America and Russia. In addition to study, the location of low Earth enables the monitoring and testing of vehicles that are meant for longer missions, such as those to the Moon or Mars, for example. The maximum amount of time that a crew member can spend on a single mission aboard the station is 6 months. 1. NASA Space Shuttle Program, $209 billion. The United States government spent the most money on the Space Shuttle endeavor, which was run by NASA. This was by a significant margin the most expensive space-related program ever funded. The Space Shuttle program was active from 1977 through 2011, resulting in a total of 135 launches over that time period, with an average cost of $1.6 billion for each launch. 2 of the missions were unfortunately unsuccessful, and as a result, 14 astronauts lost their lives. In spite of the fact that some of the more recent rockets have a longer range than the space shuttles do, these vehicles were instrumental in the completion of a great number of research endeavors. Not to mention the fact that the construction of the International Space Station would not have been possible if it weren't for the efforts of the Space Shuttle program. These are the top 10 most expensive NASA programs. If you like the video, leave a comment and also subscribe our channel for more top 10 luxury videos. Press the bell icon for all the latest updates. Thanks for watching.